Welcome in Rockport, Fulton, America to this episode of the Pirates Cove podcast, coming to you live from SR Boil House, Pirate Night here at SR Boil House. We invite you out to enjoy a great evening of great food, great entertainment. Come hang out with us. A lot of people here tonight, great atmosphere. Bring your dogs, bring your family. It's a great place, great food. I had the lobster earlier. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. But welcome into the Pirates Cove podcast. I'm your host, Rick Walker. Joining me, as always, my twin brother, Rob. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Doing good. How are you, Rick?
Doing good. A little technical difficulties on your side. Same routine. So, as mentioned, we're here live, Pirate Night here at SR Bowl House. Jump right into it. The headline this week is Rockport Fulton Pirates go to 4-2 with the big comeback win against the Hallettsville Brahmas, Rob.
Yeah, it was an outstanding ball game. Very, very competitive. Really like how we came out in the second half. Dominated play, controlled the ball, controlled the line of scrimmage, did not turn the ball over, and really made a lot of plays to come back and win that ball game, right?
Yeah, for sure. The effort was great. The adjustments at halftime. I got the opportunity to sit down with Coach Souza today. We went through a little bit of that, and he, gave me some insight as far as what they were doing, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But great ball game. Let's break down what you saw on offense, Rob, from the Pirates, if you can.
Yeah, I saw a scenario in which Hallettsville wanted to force us to throw the football. Obviously, we ran the football well, and we talked about picking up, 4 and 5 instead of 10 and 12, things like that. And I think we did a really, a really nice job of calling plays, mixing it up, outside, inside, back and forth, and really move the ball offensively. And then defensively, I think we rallied to the ball beyond the initial big play that they had. I think we tackled the quarterback well. But the first half, to me, was a scenario in which we turned the ball over too many times, and we, had too many penalties that created self-inflicted adversity that we had to overcome. We went into halftime, we made the adjustments, and we came out and we executed really, really well in the second half. We played fundamentally sound defensively. We adjusted to, their key plays of throwing to the edge, running the zone quarterback run, and just making sure that we didn't give up the big play. And then offensively, we executed really, really well. We moved the ball at will. And Sean Howell, kudos to him. I think he played a really good ball game. When they forced him to throw on rollouts, he made some really nice throws and picked up some nice first downs with his legs. And it gave us a dimension that I don't think that they were fully set for. And the net of it was the big win that we got, right?
For sure. I mean, look, we battled back from being down. We were talking about it on the broadcast. We were down 2 scores heading into halftime. We got that score right before half to bring the score 20-14, received the kickoff, and then drove it right down and scored, and making the score 21-20, right? The defense did such a nice job, though. Hallettsville only had 2 possessions in the second half. So great job by the offense controlling it, and great job by the defense of keeping them out of the end zone, because they pitched a shutout there in the second half. But you mentioned it. Great play by Sean Howell. He is our Pirates Cove, our SR Boil House Pirates Cove offensive player of the week for his performance. He had the 2 big plays, 2 big runs. One was on 3rd and long where he scrambled and he got the first down, and then on a big 4th down play also to extend those drives, which led to Pirate points in getting getting caught up, getting the lead, and surpassing Hallettsville on the scoreboard, Rob.
Yeah, just a series of nice plays that they thought they were going to force us to throw the football and make plays, and Sean did that. I'm just proud of the team, Rick. We're 4-2, and we're heading into district. We've seen improvement week over week over week over week. Shout out to the coaching staff. Great job getting the boys prepared. Coming off a couple of losses where they could have doubted themselves, but I didn't see an ounce of doubt as it relates to coming out facing this Hallettsville team that was very athletic. They got some speed on the edge. They were big on the interior line. We saw that, and I think the net of this is now we're ready, right? We're in week 7. Can you believe it? It just sounds weird to even say week 7 already, but it's the opening week of district play in 15-4A D2, and I can't be more excited about where this football team is.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, the second half of the Hallettsville game really demonstrated what this Pirate football team is capable of from an execution standpoint, from a defensive standpoint. They put it all together in that second half, and the result was fantastic, right? I think that's what it's going to take to compete in this district, at least for the championship at minimum, and even a playoff spot. That level of play, I think, is what it's going to take to be a playoff contender and go far and be a top performer in the district. So we talked a little bit about the defense. I also want to recognize our SR Boilhouse defensive player of the week, Rob, and that was linebacker Wyatt Collifer. Second week in a row, he's been recognized. You know, he had a tough first half with what they were doing to our defensive line. Spoke to Coach Souza about that, made some adjustments with the D line in order to prevent the lineman to get to the second level, allowing Collifer to get free, make plays. In the second half, he did a great job. And of course, he had the huge interception for that turnover, Rob. I thought it was a fumble, interception, whatever you want to call it, but it ended up being scored an interception for Wyatt.
Yeah, really nice play. It happened really fast. It was a bang bang play, and he just made a nice play. But he made tackle after tackle Friday night. He got sacks. He caused the turnover. He even made a big stick on kick return, or he was on the kickoff team, but against their kick return, if I remember correctly. He was just all over the place. We were calling his name all night long there on the defense.
Yeah, the PA announcer was struggling with his last name. I think he had 3 or 4 different variations of it, but Wyatt Collifer is our defensive player of the week for Hallettsville. So that leads me into our Pirates Cove trivia question as the Pirates get set to go to battle with the Cuero Gobblers as they travel to Cuero this Friday night, 7 p.m. We encourage everybody to make the game. Get out there if you can to support the Pirates. That's always the best way. But I also want to let you know that we will be bringing you the game live on the Pirates Cove Sports Network via YouTube. There will be a link on our Facebook page that'll take you to that game. But we ask that you join us if you can't be there in person. Looking forward to a great game. It'll be fun. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. All district games this season will be at 7 p.m. So the rest of the way through till playoffs will be 7 p.m. kickoff. So just want to make sure you keep that in mind as you guys tune in. But that leads me into, with Cuero being our opponent, our Spears & Co. Pirates Cove trivia question, Rob. I know you know the answer to this, but for those at home, if you do get the answer right or know the answer, please put it in the comment section of the podcast. And the winner, not being the last name Aguilar, will receive a $50 gift card here at SR Boilhouse. Great food. Like I said, I just had the lobster tail, but then it was delicious. Little edamame to go with it. I know you're jealous, Rob. You wish you could be here.
Rub it in. I am.
Missed out. But want to give you the trivia question, Rob, is what former Cuero alumni is currently playing in the NFL right now this season, rookie season in the NFL? Or second year, I believe. Second year in the league.
He's a rookie.
Okay, he is a rookie. So there's a former Cuero player that is now in the NFL. What is his name? The winner of that gets a $50 gift card courtesy of the Pirates Cove Sports Network. That gift card is good at SR Boilhouse for a meal. So the winner, if you'll put that in the comment section, will get you your prize. I know you know the answer to this one, Rob.
Yeah, because I know he's a rookie.
Yeah, he also played against my son. You got to see him play there in high school. So great, very, very talented player. So let's talk about Cuero, Rob. Jump right into it. Good Gobbler team, excuse me, this year. Typical Cuero, a lot of tradition over there. A lot of times they show up on Friday night with the history and the legacy of Cuero that some teams kind of roll over just because they're playing Cuero. Obviously, the Pirates can't do that. But big game Friday night. Talk about the Gobblers. What are we in for on Friday?
We're in for a very athletic, talented football team. The Gobblers are coached by Coach Jared Fikach. They come in 4-2 on the season, Rick, but don't don't discount them because of two losses. Those losses came against 3A number one Columbus, who's just loaded, and then they lost to the Miller Buccaneers. And they gave up big points doing it. They scored big points against both those schools as well. So very talented offensively, very athletic on defense, but they're a big play defense, is what I would say. They'll make the big play and they'll give up the big play. They take a lot of risk, and if they get scored on, they're okay. Hey, we'll send our offense right back out there, and we're confident that they'll score points. So really talented team. They returned 5 offensive players, 7 on defense in regards to starters, off a 12-1 team that went to the regional semifinals in 2023. They come in averaging 34 points a game offensively, and as I mentioned, they've given up a lot of points. They average giving up 41, but keep in mind 59 against Miller and 65 against Columbus have skewed that number. Offensively, Rick, they're 11 personnel, one running back, one tight end. A lot of times that tight end plays H-back, but they're a spread offense. And depending on who they play at quarterback based on injury, I think is going to determine, their balance. If number 6, their starting quarterback, Jackson Murray, is there, I would expect them to throw the ball 65% of the time. If not, a sophomore who would be getting his second start, number 25, Jace Guajardo, will start at quarterback. He throws the ball well. He's athletic. He's just not nearly as experienced or as comfortable as Jackson Murray. Jackson Murray's thrown for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns already. He's got playmakers all over the field. His number one playmaker is number 12 that he likes to throw to. His name's Walker Dietz. He's about 6'2", 190 pounds, not super fast, but just seems to find a way to constantly get open and create separation. And if it's a 50-50 ball, it's more like 70-30 for him. He's going to come up with that about 70% of the time. They throw the ball when Jackson Murray is in deep quite a bit. I counted against Yoakum. They threw the ball deep 11 to 12 times, just constantly attacking the deep ball. So we'll see if that changes if Jace Guajardo starts. One of the things that when you see them come out on offense, they have a huge left tackle. Jace Winfield is his name. He's probably 6'4", 6'5", 315, 320 pounds, just a really big kid. He's just a junior, got a lot of potential. And then in the backfield with him is Devon Varela. He's fast, explosive. He catches the ball out of the backfield, but he's a zone runner. He's going to be patient to find the hole. Then he's going to hit it and play the speed game. He's not really going to run over a lot of people. When you see him on defense, you're going to be surprised by how big their defensive line is. They have 9 guys on their roster 6'3" or taller, which for a smaller 4A school, that's pretty impressive. Their defensive ends are both about 6'4". One of their defensive ends, one of their outside backers is 6'4". One of their defensive ends, let me make sure I have his name right. His name's Kaysen Roy, number 60. Very aggressive, fast off the ball, explosive, big-time pass rush guy. So if we're going to throw the ball, we're going to have to make sure that we block that guy. But I think we can move the ball on this defense. I think we can pick up yards, and we just got to make sure that we're disciplined enough to control the football, move it down the field, and when we get in the red zone, punch it in. And then on defense, we've got to limit the big play. We got to tackle in space, and then if we do create a turnover, we need to take advantage of it. I think if we can do those things, we're going to be very, very competitive in this football game. Rick, Dave Campbell's Texas football picks them to be second in the district behind Sinton. I think talent-wise, that lines up pretty well with what Sinton's done thus far, like opponents. I think overall they're well coached. They seem to be getting better every week. But if Jackson Murray is down for an extended period of time, I think for their collective season, it's going to hurt them pretty badly. But as it relates to this game, you just never know, right? Um, so overall, really talented football team, super athletic, speed, size, all of it, well coached. So Rockport Fulton Pirates have their work cut out for them Friday night, especially to travel to the Gobblers and play in that place.
For sure. And and speaking of Coach Souza, one of the things he told us to be prepared for, that they're preparing for, Cuero likes to go fast. Like they'll run a play and then get right back up and run. So they're trying to control that tempo. They do a nice job with that, and that's one of the ways they do to use to control the line of scrimmage. At least have some advantage there. So we'll need to be on the lookout for that Friday night. So obviously, you with all that being told, Rob, it's time to put you on the spot. What is the Rob Walker prediction for Friday night as the Pirates travel over to Cuero to face the Gobblers?
So I have picked our Rockport Fulton Pirates to win every week, and I can't be a homer. I think it's a tough place to play, as our coaches used to tell us. You got to be 14 points better than your opponent on the road. I think they're athletic, their speed, the combination of that is going to be a challenge for us. And I think, unfortunately, I have us going to the playoffs, but I think this one is going to be tough to pull out. I think this is the most talented football team the Pirates will have played all season. More talented than Kincaid collectively, close probably, and then I think they're better than Cal Allen. So, with that said, unless we play a perfect game, which I think is really, really difficult to do, I think I'm going to have to say Cuero 41 and your Rockport Fulton Pirates 28.
41-28. Ouch, guys! You heard it there. Rob Walker selling out the Pirates. No, I'm just kidding. I understand the prediction. Look, I would agree. I think they look at you look at film that they are strong like Cal Allen up front with the ability to run the ball, and then I think their passing game is far superior than what Cal Allen has, or at least capability. But I don't think they're as good defensively as the teams that we've faced. I do think they have a few standouts on defense that are physical, but overall, what I saw them, from a defensive standpoint as a unit, I wasn't as impressed. I don't think they're playing to their capability defensively for the athleticism that they have, and I think Rockport can exploit that. And I actually expect them to. And I look for us to carry on the level of execution that we had in the second half against Hallettsville. And so I'm going a different direction here. I think it is a shootout. I think it's competitive, but I think it's 34-31 Rockport Fulton with the big upset Friday night at Cuero.
I'd love to see that. One thing I will say, in watching them on film, where they've given up points, yards, big plays is in the passing game. And obviously, we're not, a passing team by the nature of running slot T like we do. Occasionally, we spread it out and mix it up. But I think if we're going to put big points on the board, we're going to have to find a way to throw the football down the field.
I definitely agree, and I think we're figuring out the passing game. I think it's kind of a new scheme, learning that process. I think Hal looked so much more comfortable last week at Hallettsville. I look for that to continue this week, and I think the Pirates get a couple of big plays. I mean, look, you go back to that Cal Allen game, opening drive, nice deep ball, beautiful throw from Hal to Phillips, and unfortunately weren't able to bring it in. But and then we had the kickoff return. That game should have been tied at half at minimum. If not, the Pirates actually up by a point because of a missed extra point. So I think the Pirates. I like our chances as long as we can execute. The key is we cannot have penalties and turnovers. If we don't do that, I really like our shot to compete and fight for a win. Again, this is the only scheme that of a slot T that Cuero is going to be a face all year long. So I think it's going to be a little bit different. And that's a big change from going from facing spread offenses week in and week out to all of a sudden you've got a ground and pound team with the depth at back and the ability to control the ball like the Pirates have. As the disco lights come on to my message here at SR Boyhouse. Again, Pirate Night going on here. Lots of great stuff. Going to have live music after this. Invite you out. Great seafood, great family environment. The goal is we help support our sponsor, SR Boil House, as they allow us to do the podcast, and they support the broadcast that we bring you every Friday night for the games and throughout the season, right? Because this isn't just going to be for football. This will be for all sports, boys and girls. So we ask for your continued support. We need more than just SR Bowl House to help make this whole thing go. And any revenue that is generated goes to equipment and support and bringing the broadcast, and then anything left over actually goes back directly to the athletic program. So we ask that you support us, understand that all that goes to support the coverage of Rockport Fulton athletes and provide equipment, gear, you name it, for the Rockport Fulton athletic program. So we got the predictions. You've got the trivia question, looking for that. Rob, any big area games going on in the Coastal Bend and then around the state?
Yeah, so we'll start with the state, Rick. The matchup of probably the two most talented teams, arguably, in the state of Texas in 6A. Number 1, Duncanville versus number 4, DeSoto. A district rival, loaded with talent, both sides, probably 30 plus D1 athletes on the field across multiple classes. Just really high quality football, and expect these two both to compete for the state championship in 6A this year.
Okay.
Then in 4A D1, we got number 1 Salina versus number 10 Sulphur Springs. So Sulphur Springs moved into the top 10 this week, and their reward for that is to get the number 1 team in district rival Salina. And then also in 4A D1, number 5 Tyler Chapel Hill battles Kilgore, who just missed being state ranked. They're right at the edge of it. And then in the area, Rick, you got number 9 in 3A D1 Goliad facing off against London. And then in the Corpus area, you've got a rival, Miller versus Moody. And, Miller obviously highly favored in that game, but Moody, also slot T team, really, really improved, very athletic in their backfield. I'll be interested to see how this matchup goes. I could definitely see a high scoring 60, 70 points scored by Miller and probably 50 or 60 scored by Moody. District-wise, Rick, Robstown and Ingleside is the other key district game. Sinton, number 3 in the state, is idle, or they're on a bye this week to open district play, so they get an extra week to prepare for this Cuero team that we're facing off against Friday next week.
For sure. And listen, it's kicking off district play with a district this small. Every week counts. So you're right, that Robstown Ingleside game already has, each one of these games already have playoff implications. I mean, it's you do your predictions, you try to look ahead who you think should be due. Of course, it rarely plays out the way you think it should, but playoff implications early, Rob.
Yeah, well, I have to say, Rick Stradamus over there, you've made some nice predictions that seem to be coming true. So we'll see. Hopefully my pick is wrong and your pick for our game Friday night is correct.
For sure. And I have been right. I don't like to pat myself on the back, because last time I did, I pulled a muscle. But I think it's important that you remember that I have been right most of the season. So even if I do get one wrong here and there, you don't get to rub it in.
You thought you were wrong once, but you were mistaken.
That's correct. That's exactly how that went. So once again, I want to invite everybody out to SR Boil House tonight for Pirate Night. We do this every Wednesday. We'll continue to do it. The whole goal is to build more excitement around Rockport Fulton athletics and support the community, support the program. Just come together. Listen, something special is going on in this community, right? We've got some things really moving the right direction. Got the Hall of Fame coming up the weekend, the 19th, I believe. Saturday, we'll be covering that. So as a matter of fact, after this broadcast, we're going to be looking to go live to bring on some folks from the Hall of Fame to talk about who's being inducted and invite everybody out, share some information around that. But listen, a lot of great things going on within the community around the athletic program. Heck, the tennis team made the by-district championship and won, so they're on to the next level. So they're doing well, and you can get more information around that when as we share the Pirates Cove podcast coaches show. Coach Eric Souza, that show we had today, that'll be shared with you shortly, so you get some information around that. But we ask that you tune in, watch that. Obviously, watch this, like, share, subscribe. We need as many viewers as possible. We want to reach the entire coastal bend. We need to let everybody know that Rockport Pride is worldwide. And, so any support that you can give us, we greatly appreciate. Anything you want to close out with tonight, Rob?
Yeah, I have something. You don't know that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you have a youth football player looking for quarterback training, QB1 training done by our own host here, Rick Walker, is ready to take your inquiries. He's coached up several quarterbacks. His son, both his nephews who are varsity quarterbacks foundationally. He studied the game quite a bit. He's been to several trainings. He's participated QB collective events with his son, with his nephews. He's been through R4 certification training. He has the materials. He has all the details to help your son. If you have a young man looking to learn how to throw the football and how to be a quarterback, I can tell you, I am biased, but Rick Walker is really good at this. And if you'll reach out to him, he'll be happy to assist. He'll give you an evaluation of your son. He'll teach him everything from how to hold the ball, how to work with their feet, how to read the defenses, how to work with their eyes, all the things foundationally to build what can become a young man who is QB1. Shout out to you, Rick.
Okay, so that's being pushed out into the to the opportunity, right? Yeah, it is something I've been working on, spending a lot of time, a lot of research. Obviously, I had the opportunity to play in high school, was not very talented at throwing the ball, could run the option, but once post high school, spent a lot of time learning how to throw the ball, the steps needed, the mechanics, everything from your arm slot to your footwork to where your eyes go, you name it. I've spent a lot of time learning in order to be able to teach and develop the folks that I've had the opportunity to. And I'd like to be able to share that with kids in Rockport. So youth level all the way up to high school, I'll be working with them. So if you're interested, reach out. I'll be putting together a program here as we head into 2025. But completely unexpected and put me on the spot, Rob. So I appreciate that. So apparently now I'm committed. But if you are interested, reach out to me. I'd love to assist, and we can talk about it. So with that said, that wraps up our podcast this evening. Appreciate you joining us. As always, please join us Friday night for the live broadcast of the game. It's going to be a fun one. My prediction is going to come true. We're going to play a really good football game. I truly believe it. So, just think back to the days of the hit spot Warriors, Rob, in the forecast there. But once again, like I said, thank y'all for joining us. It's going to be a fun week. Please join us Friday night, and I'm going to have Rob send us out.
Hey, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the Pirates Cove Sports Network. Thank you for supporting your Rockport Fulton Pirates. Again, best thing you can do is show up in Cuero. If you can't show up, listen to us. But on top of that, I'll even say the best thing is to listen to us in the stands while you're watching your Rockport Fulton Pirates. It doesn't get any better than that. So thank you, and go Pirates.
Amen. And yeah, exactly. Watch us, tune into us while the game is going live. So tune in, support your Pirates. We thank you. That wraps up the show. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates.